I guess my favorite thing about the house is it's big, it's different, big and different. It's older than most of the houses around here. Like all the houses around here now are subdivision houses, kind of cookie cutter houses.
I grew up here.
I guess if I were describing it to somebody who'd never been here before, I'd say a big, rambling, old wood frame farmhouse.
I was actually born here, as was my little brother.
When you're inside the house, you always can see what's going on outside.
It's not just a colorful house, it has had a lot of colorful people coming through.
My heart and soul is poured into this house. I'm Alex Carrillo.
And I'm married to Alex Carrillo, and my name is Jim Lutz.
We come as a pair. Well, between Jim and I, we have 5 children.
Adults being born here.
So 3 of them are mine, and 2 of them are his, and we just raised them all out here.
I had seen a place advertised in the paper down the road near Manor, north of Manor, and I saw this house way back off the road and some trees. This wasn't the house for sale. But I parked on the road when there was no driveway. I walked back here a half of a mile and found this old ghost house.
It was built by a man and his kids. They built it for their own family. This house was pretty run down and absolutely lacking in color or a solid roof or a solid floor when we found it.
We didn't have indoor plumbing. And you have to realize, too, we bought this in 1977. When Dihar was born, we needed water more, but we still didn't have much. And we didn't have enough, really, for a lot of plumbing. Good excuse. So we had an outhouse.
I think minus the outhouse. Yeah, should have had that before I was in junior high. Well, I mean, they had some indoor plumbing. It's just that they didn't have the toilet in the house. You didn't want to bring a girlfriend out to your house and then tell her she has to use the outhouse. That's messed up. My name's Dihar. I grew up here. This is my parents' house.
My name's Sky, Lutz and Alex. We're in one of my old rooms. I grew up here. It's my parents' house. I think I was born downstairs in my parents' room, the bottom of the stairs. And my dad told me I was conceived right there. I'm not sure if that's true, but my parents used to stay up here. My name is Zephyr Lutz and Carrillo, and I grew up here, and we are at Quicksand Farm.
I didn't actually name it Quicksand Farm, but it came from the original owner that we bought it from, who was Mrs. Quick, and she never actually lived here. She just bought it as, I guess, a piece of investment property that she was going to hang on to and sell.
It hadn't been lived in for 20 years, but I thought, what a cool old house that is.
I love this kitchen. It's my favorite room in the house. It's where I probably spend more hours than any other room in the house. I like to cook. I like to entertain people. I like to have people over for dinner. I love having a big kitchen and a big table and a lot of people around my table and lots of talk and lots of friends.
One thing that's really fun about this house are the little distinctive places that are architecturally different, and each of the rooms is architecturally unique. That's one thing I really love about the house. I don't remember the philosopher, but he said a thing of beauty is a joy forever.
Having babies at home it's been the highlight of my life. 2 of the kids were actually born in the house. Dihar was always disappointed that he didn't get to actually be born in the house. Some of my friends have also come here to have their babies.
I was out here, Tina had her baby, her first baby in this room.
It's a really nice spiritual place to have babies. The first square dance started when my son Dihar, who is now 28, was a year old. We decided that a 1-year-old kid doesn't really care what their birthday party's all about. So we were just going to get a lot of our friends together to have a party. And it was his birthday party, but it wasn't really so much as of a kid party.
And we had our first square dance. And we had probably 20 or 30 people. And then the next year we had another Quicksand Farm square dance, and then another one and another one. And here 30 years have gone by, and we've skipped only 2 summers.
Now it's kind of a gathering that we really have no control over anymore. We just have to make sure that we're home and here and ready for it to happen, because I think it would happen whether we invited anybody or not. People are so used to coming.
It's a place where people of any age can come and enjoy being together, and it's a very joyful event, and your cheeks hurt from laughing.
On Saturday, the question of moving Robert Mueller Airport will go before Austin voters. If the move is approved, the new site near Manor would force a number of people out of their homes. And as Brian Mylar reports tonight, some residents there have vowed to go down fighting the move.
It takes a lot of energy to keep fighting, and some of us have just persevered, and because we want to stay where we are. We like this community, you know. Our kids go to school here, we own land here, we make our living out here.
On Saturday, Austin voters will tell them whether they have to move out of here and start their lives all over again someplace else. Brian Mylar, 24 Action News.
After we were here just a couple years, the city of Austin, the powers that be, determined that they wanted to build a new airport. And finally, the citizens of Manor voted to build an airport out here in Manor. When the Berlin Wall came down, the federal government decided they wanted to close a bunch of their military bases. And the closing of Bergstrom Air Force Base enabled Austin to build the airport at Bergstrom. So I live here because the Berlin Wall came down. So it goes to show you never know the effects of what you do. It has ramifications way beyond what you realize.
We were a farm before, and then when we decided to scale back on the animals, we decided to change it into a wildlife preserve. So there are certain things that we have to do to create habitat and make sure that they have food and water and a safe place to roam. And so all of our back property is the wildlife preserve, and then we keep our domesticated animals up here close to the house. Yeah, raising the animals has always been a big project, and for many years I had dairy goats out here and milked dairy goats twice a day to keep the kids in milk. And we've always had chickens to raise.
Now we have a tax status as a wildlife preserve. Habitat is being lost in the area. It makes it more important to continue creating habitat for the wild creatures.